Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
We don't just alert, we stop crime before it starts. Simply Safe, plan starting around $1 a day. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/Spotify or with promo code Spotify.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.
Hi, I'm Andrea Claire, and this is my podcast. I believe my place is anywhere I decide I want to be. Simple, effective, and honestly, our new mantra, thanks to my next guest, Ebonnie Rowe, founder of Honey Jam and recipient of the Order of Canada. For over 30 years, Ebonnie has been an absolute force in the Canadian music industry, shaping careers, mentoring emerging female artists across every genre, and creating safe, empowering spaces for young women to build confidence, hone their craft, and find their voice. You might even know some of the legendary alumni who have come through the Honey Jam program. For example, Nelly Furtado or Julie Black. Ring bells? Ebonnie started off as a legal assistant, but then built Honey Jam into this incredible nonprofit that has transformed an industry, giving voice and agency to young women. And while Honey Jam is a nonprofit and cannot issue tax receipts, they welcome direct community support and donations to keep their artist development programming alive. Please check out the show notes for direct links if you forgot how Google works. We dive into what it really takes to navigate midlife with unapologetic boldness and why midlife isn't a time to quiet down, it's a time to claim your space. We also pull back the curtain on the entertainment, fashion, and beauty industries, sharing raw truths about toxic beauty standards. Whether you're reinventing yourself, looking for creative inspiration, or ready to take up more space in your own life, this conversation is full of wisdom, insights, and pure fucking fire. Ebonnie, welcome to the Fuck You 50s.
Yay! Fuck you, Andrea.
Fuck you, Ebonnie. You know, it's so funny when I was first kind of developing this idea, I was like, oh, I don't know, is my title going to be too abrasive? But then I kind of feel like it speaks to a certain audience and it speaks to a certain guest. And so
It's provocative.
yes. Yes, absolutely. And I feel like I'm 55 years old now. That's just kind of like where I'm at in my life. And maybe also being a redhead, you know, it's a natural fuck you that I've had my entire life anyway. So,
Yes.
so tell me about Honey Jam Canada.
So it's a nonprofit artist development program for young women of all cultures and all genres from across Canada. It's kind of like an artist incubator, and it's building a community for them. One of the alums described it as the sisterhood of the traveling pants without the pants.
Love it. The Sisterhood of the Traveling Treble Clef.
Yes.
That's me just trying to throw in some like music theory that I know nothing about.
Right. It is my heart and soul and my reason for being. And I just get so much fulfillment out of doing it. This is the 31st year. Can you believe it?
Amazing. Congratulations. And what inspired you to start Honey Jam Canada?
I was running a mentor program for at-risk Black youth called Each One Teach One. And this was in the early 90s. Everyone was listening to gangster rap, which had a lot of misogyny in it. And my female mentees would tell me that their 5-year-old brothers were calling them bitch and hoe and things that they had no idea what it meant, but they were hearing it on the radio. Because back then, hip hop was mainly on college radio and there was no regulation. Like you could play the unclean versions in the middle of the day. So they're hearing that and repeating what they hear. So I spoke to the biggest hip hop DJ in Canada at the time, DJ X, out of CKLN Radio, the Power Move Show. And I said, these are some of the unintended consequences. And he was quite shocked. And he said, well, come on my show and talk about it. I said,
Mhm.
okay. He goes, I'll give you my whole 3-hour nationally syndicated show. It's like, what?
Like literally go big right out the gate.
I'm a disciple of Malcolm X, who
Yeah.
famously said, by any means necessary. And also, if you see a problem, along with pointing the finger, take a look at the mirror and ask, what are you doing to be part of the solution, right? So someone's giving you a platform, figure it the fuck out or shut up.
Yeah. Love
So
that.
that's what I did. Listening to the show were the editors of an entertainment magazine called Mic Check. And the editor called me and said, hey, we listened to the show. We'd love you to edit an all-female issue of our magazine
Oh, wow.
and discuss these things. So I've got a day job at a law firm as a legal assistant. I'm running this mentor program and then doing this radio show and, now edit this magazine. Anywho.
In your spare time.
Did the magazine. We wanted to do a rap party, called the rap party Honey Jam, featured some of the artists that were in the magazine, and that was supposed to be it. And everyone said, oh, this is so amazing. When's the next one? And I said, okay, well, let's see. We'll do another one or so and see how it goes, maybe for a year. And here we are.
31 years later. Yes.
And that's how it started.
Yeah. That's absolutely amazing. It's interesting. So I'm kind of like loosely in like I guess kind of like the music industry. Like I'm a hair and makeup artist. That's my day job. And when I've done a little bit with like music videos and doing hair and makeup for shoots, and I guess kind of part of the artist development. And I haven't really done a lot of that lately. That was kind of more earlier on in my career. But the one thing that I found really interesting is that whenever I was hired to work on a young female artist, it was all these men in the room making decisions. And there'd be racks of clothes from the wardrobe stylist. And I would have to do like a few different makeup looks on them. They would be changed into like a folk singer or kind of more skimpy clothing. And it was funny. It was like the men trying to decide what their look was going to be.
Yes.
And
the Bengali effect.
Is that what that's called?
That's when you just take someone, usually a man, taking a woman, and I'm going to make you into different versions of whatever I think you should be.
And is it that's kind of that old school, like, baby, I'm going to make you a star?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the focus on I, as in not you.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what you're going to be and how you're going to do it and what you're going to wear and all of those things.
Do you think we still see a bit of that in the music industry?
Absolutely. Definitely less so. A lot more people have found their agency.
Right.
And in a very unapologetic way, and are insisting on being more involved instead of just kind of being some sort of marketing creation. But you still do see that, but definitely less so in my opinion.
And so for people to get involved in your incubator, I know you have an audition process and how does that work? How many women are you taking on in your incubator?
So traditionally it's between 15 to 20. In the very early days, we would have up to 40. And that was before we had live musicians. So it was just a cassette tape. And it was just a lot easier to do it. But now we have a live band and it's about 15 to 20 artists. So we hold one live audition in Toronto. Yep. And then all of the other artists from outside of Ontario, they can submit online.
And then you basically mentor talent across Canada?
Well, so we have about 20 artists. Yeah. Maybe half of them will be from Ontario and the rest will be from other provinces. And we will assist them in flying in. What some of them do is they will take the summer and they'll have a friend here and then they'll just move here so that they can go to the different events, or they'll fly in for a couple of them and we will assist with that. So we'll start off with getting them vocal and performance training, and then there'll be a lot of developmental workshops. So it's not necessarily like one-on-one mentoring, though mentoring is a facet of it. We do have a mentor cafe. We do sometimes match the artist with a specific person in the industry, which is an area that they want to explore or get more information about. We'll do a workshop about publishing or management. There'll be something about mental health for creatives. This year, they're getting one-on-one consultation with a platinum selling recording producer. They're all having their bios done by an award-winning music journalist. So there'll be lots of different topics, career advice. There'll be a panel where they can stand up and say, this is who I am. These are my challenges in the industry. This is where I need help. What advice would you give me in this or that? And then there'll be 5 people on a panel from different parts of the industry that will each give them their take on what they think would be most helpful to them. So there's an array of different things. We'll have artists come in to speak with them. We'll go into a studio. There'll be a master class about vocal and performance, a wide array of different things, and then plus experiences, fun things like we'll get tickets for them to be able to go to a TIFF screening or to attend a concert or different sorts of things like that.
That sounds such a fantastic experience. Do you see like a common theme of things that they find challenging?
Not really. They kind of all want studio time, which is extremely expensive. So trying to get assistance with that, which there are also some grants available. So that's one of the things that they might be getting advice on, is where they can go to try to get funding for some of the things that they want to do to enhance their career. Some of them might want to get better at songwriting and just need a little bit of guidance. A lot of them will not fully understand publishing and copyright and different mechanical rights and different things like that, and will want to have some guidance that way. One of the things I want to say is that there is no end date. They might graduate from that cohort that they're in, but we will continue to promote what they are doing as artists throughout their careers. They will still have opportunities to participate and attend different things that we're doing. And sometimes they will come back as volunteers or as an audition judge or as a workshop panelist or as a mentor to the new girls coming up. So that's always very heartwarming to see that full circle moment.
Yeah, like a really, really strong community like you've built.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So is your background, like, are you still working in legal?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay. You're like, I don't have time for that.
This is my full-time job.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably for, I don't know, many years now. Maybe at least 10 years, I think.
Okay.
The time has gone so quickly, like it's just a whirlwind. But yeah, out of the 31 years, like I've been doing it full time for about 10 years.
Okay. And the legal, when you were working in that, did that have anything to do with the entertainment industry or no?
Not at all. Not at all. I was a legal assistant working in different areas of the firm. None of it ever had anything to do with entertainment.
I love it. And you know what? I think sometimes too, like getting into this kind of industry, not knowing something sometimes is your best foot forward, because you're kind of thinking outside the box, because you haven't come in with an already like learned kind of perspective of things.
And I don't have any ego about what I don't know. I'm not trying to pretend
Yeah.
People will fudge their resume. Yes, I'm a heart surgeon. And then they'll like go to Chat GPT.
Yeah. You're like, actually, I just have a heart.
Yeah. Right. So no, I would always be asking questions and want people around me that know more than me and to advise me. And if there's something that I don't know, to seek that information.
And then can you talk about some of the, would you say alumni that have been through
Yeah.
So maybe name drop?
So our most famous internationally known alumni is Nelly Furtado.
Okay.
So she performed back in 1997. And she's such a sweetheart. When she put out her first CD, in the liner notes, it says, "I'll always remember the honey jam." And then for a few years, she was a financial sponsor. And Drake did a concert where he had an all Canadian part of his OVO Fest. And she came on the stage at History and she looked out into the crowd and she said, "Oh my gosh, this feels like Honey Jam all over again." And this is like almost 20 years after doing Honey Jam. So she's always been very, very humble, always remembered Honey Jam, always shouts us out. When she saw that I got the Order of Canada, she came on the page and said congratulations on our social media. So yeah, love her. We also have alums like Julie Black, who is an amazing artist and actor, songwriter, all the things, fitness coach, motivational coach, Havaya Mighty in the rap genre. Lou Kala, who had that huge hit song, Pretty Girl Era. I'm not going to sing it. I'm not singing it.
So you haven't picked up any singing skills is what you're saying in this program. Oh, that's funny. My youngest daughter is a singer. She's off to Berkeley in the fall. And whenever I try to sing in the car, because I think that's like you should be able to sing in a car, right? But if she's with me, she's like, "Mommy,
please."
No. So I would say she did not get that talent from me at all. Let's circle back to your Order of Canada. That's exciting, and congratulations on that.
Thank you. So it was announced last summer, just before Canada Day. But I was called a couple of months before that in April. But first I got an email from a government address. All it says Government of Canada. And it says, "Is this where we can reach Ebonnie Rowe? We need to speak to her." And
you're like, "Call my lawyer."
What have I done? Did I make a mistake on my tax return? Literally, that is what I thought. There was no other information. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I better call them right away. So then I called and then that's what they told me. And then they said, "You can't tell anyone for 2 months until we officially announce it." They did allow me to tell my mother. So that was good. And to tell someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it was shocking. I mean, it's not anything I had on my, this will happen to me one day. Let me put that on my list of achievements that I want to have. And honestly, last year was our 30th anniversary year. Mm-hmm. And it was such a stressful year and chock full of activities that it never sunk in. There was no time to exhale and think, oh, look at all that we've achieved. It was just like, let's go.
Yeah.
One thing after another. So I don't think it really sunk in until I was in Ottawa. And when I was standing waiting to walk in, I just felt this overwhelming emotion. And I thought I was going to start to cry. It's such a beautiful visually, the room. And you've got the guards and you've got the majesty of the place and you're seeing the other nominees and then it's just sinking in. This is really real. And you're seeing the company that you're there with. And They wanted to take our purses as we were walking in, but my Kleenex was in there and I was just feeling like the waterworks could come at any minute. And I was holding on to my purse.
You're like, no, this is my tear bucket. I need this with
Yes.
me.
It was
Wow.
an awesome experience. It
And
really
just to be
was.
recognized for your contributions, for everything that
Yes.
you've done is absolutely incredible.
For my mother to be able to be there at almost 90 years old,
Wow.
that was just such a blessing. That was the biggest thing, that I wanted it to happen while she was still alive, because my father has passed, and that was part of what was making me emotional also.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Amazing.
a great experience.
The music industry is known for discarding women as they age. Have you seen a big improvement in how women have been treated over the years in the business, or has it been a very slow change, if any at all?
I think it depends on what part of the business. So whether it's corporate, whether it's in the areas that are non-traditionally female, so that's male dominated. So there are areas where it still is that. And maybe there aren't a lot of women that want to do that, like be a roadie on tour, right? Like the music industry is such a broad and wide industry that I wouldn't have experience in all aspects of it. But certainly in terms of people that I've seen running a label, for example. So right now, the head of Universal Music is a woman. The head of Warner Music Canada was a woman for a long time. And, in 1995, when we started, that was not what was happening. And there are a number of women rising up in the ranks as managers and different parts of the industry where they can help shape all parts of an artist's career. So you don't just have the male gaze, as they say.
Right.
So things have definitely gotten better. One of the things I always say is that what I don't like is that a lot of the reasons why things get better is hardly ever because it's the right thing to do. And society has finally woken up. Like when you think of the civil rights movement, like without people actually shedding blood and being in the streets and people seeing dogs being sicked on them by police and all of those things, would those changes have happened? Would they? Would the Vietnam War have stopped? I'm dating myself to these things back in time. And even when you talk about sexual harassment, we live in a different age now where a tweet can destroy you, can destroy your reputation, can destroy your business, can destroy your empire, just like that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of things change because of pressure. So it's like if you've got a lump of coal and, out of that can be fashioned a diamond, but not without the pressure.
Right.
Right? So there has absolutely been progress. I would like to see people just becoming better. When it comes to sexual harassment, I do think that men are becoming more educated. Men who really, were in blissful ignorance and did not, and maybe willful ignorance, really did not understand how certain things that they would say would impact someone. Just having a more sensitivity. And I think that comes with social media also, where everyone has their own broadcast center and everyone talks about their feelings and about things that they find offensive. I think as a society, even though what we're seeing south of the border is so regressive to another time when minorities and women needed to know their place and weren't given opportunities. And that's very frightening after all of the progress that we've made, to see that happening and to see people fall in line and not push back. and for them to be so close to where we are in Canada. So it's like one step forward, but you could lose it just like that. You
Yeah.
could lose your rights.
It's very scary. I had my aunt, I had her as a guest last year, and she's 75, and she was talking about things that she had done earlier on in her career.
Well, the story she could tell.
Well, the stories that she could tell, but then when I had asked her if she felt that we've really come a long way, and she was like, not really, no. And it's like, oh, okay. I was not expecting that answer. You know, when you were talking about social media, there's often, I have this thought where I think, and because I've been media trained, I used to be on TV and I used to, do a lot of stuff when I was younger. So I went through media training, and I've often thought a lot of people that are on social media should also go through media training, because some of the things that people say, you just kind of think like, what? But
Yeah.
I also think on the other hand, another perspective is it's kind of like gardening. Like social media is just like, it shows all the weeds and then we know what to pull.
Yes. I have to push back on Auntie, by the way, because at 75, she would have been alive at a time when all women wanted to do was use their appliances and knit and make sure that husband's dinner is on time. There are ads from the 50s and early 60s that show a woman that says she bought this sweater. So she got a job so that she would have somewhere to wear her pretty pink sweater. Like, like it's just shocking the ways in which women were portrayed.
Yeah.
And that whole trad wife was the expectation. And that's another thing that we're seeing regressing is a platforming and amplification of that idea of moving back to that time. But back in the 50s, that wasn't even an option. There are Supreme Court justices that would say they got their degree, and when they got it, they never thought they would be able to use it.
Yeah.
Because no law firms were hiring them. That was just standard.
Well,
So
they called it the Mrs. degree, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because then you could get a man because you're educated. And you might not use that education, but at least you could, host
You'll
a
use
cocktail
it to
party.
teach the many children that you'll have as you're barefoot and pregnant and baking those easy bake cookies.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot more opportunity, a lot more women that are getting educated, that are running their own businesses. So yes, there absolutely has, but there is also still a mindset. And when you see stories like R. Kelly and Diddy, which is very recent, then, there are people who still see women that way. And if you watch, Jessie Reyez has a video, it's like a mini movie for a song called Gatekeeper. This came out a few years ago. And I remember watching it and crying because I had hoped that things were a lot better. So it's basically these gatekeepers that prevent you from getting to meet a certain producer or publicist or whoever is a man in a position. And the gatekeeper wants to exact favors from you in order to get this introduction, which sometimes never happens, but they got the favor.
Yeah.
And then some women being complicit in this happening, which is also what happened with R. Kelly and with Diddy. There were women that helped to facilitate this. So it made me sad to see that. And there are things that are just going to be around as long as human beings are human beings and flawed. But, we all do what we can to change that. Yeah. And there are men that are starting to call other men out. There's an actor in the States who it was shown that he had been sleeping with, with a whole power dynamic thing with young women. And one of his best friends, just another man, just stopped working with him. just cut the partnership because he was so disgusted and didn't want to be associated with that. When does
Yeah.
that ever happen?
Yeah. I think we all know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Although there's probably many, right?
Of
Which is
course.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing too. It's like, I feel like anyone that wants to have, I mean, it can happen across any industry, of course, but anybody that wants to be a star, like women get these promises and get taken advantage of. I
Yes.
definitely have seen it as well. It's, horrific. I did have somebody tell my daughter, in my presence that, and it's funny, I just think he was old school and just thought the way it was going to be. And he was just saying, like, one day when you're a recording artist, you'll do a shoot and probably your mom will do your hair and makeup and someone from the label will tell you how to dress and she'll do your makeup and they'll see how you're marketed. And I was like, it's not done really anymore. I mean, I'm sure, like you said earlier, there's some people that still do it, but
it's done if you let them,
yeah.
We have this conversation with the artists every year. Like, don't ever think that anything is your last chance to do something. And that's what they'll make you think. If you don't do this, you'll never work again. Or if you don't do this, you'll be blackballed or whatever. There's always another opportunity. And if you ever do something where you debase yourself or it is out of character, people talk. And that goes around that's who you are. And then people will continue to do that to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I always tell them, and I have been a young person, so I know what it feels like when you really want something and someone's offering you something and you're like, I don't know, but he's offering this and I want I want it.
Yeah.
So what should I do?
Yeah.
But, you've got the internet, like check people out,
Yeah.
Do your due diligence, find other people that have worked with them.
I also think, like, as women, I feel like we have a lot of gut instinct, and if something doesn't feel right with what you're feeling, there's a thing that I saw this morning on social media that I wanted to bring up, and I just thought it was so kind of still telling of kind of where we are. It was two separate media outlets, but it was, one was talking about Madonna and Shakira, and I don't follow sports, but they were playing something at a halftime recently.
Okay. World Cup halftime.
I don't know. Anyway, but it had their ages. So in the caption of the article, but it specifically had Madonna, whatever, she's 67 or something, and then Shakira 49. And then another news outlet was talking about Chris Martin doing something. And I just thought it was so interesting that they didn't have his age in brackets. And it's just like, why is this constant narrative of women's ages?
That is something that has not changed, for sure. I remember when Maria Shriver and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it came out that he had slept with his housekeeper and had the baby and whatnot. And someone was saying that she should divorce him. And then she was only 52 at the time, Maria Shriver. Yeah. And then one of the male thing said, well, what is she going to do at that age? She may as well stay. It's like, well, she's 52 already. Like, may as well just put up with it.
Her life's basically over anyway.
Yes,
fucking people, man. Oh, yeah.
It's definitely still a youth-driven industry, for sure.
Yes. The music industry is arguably one of the most ageist, sexist, and youth-obsessed spaces on earth.
But more youth-obsessed for women.
Yes.
Definitely more youth-obsessed for women.
Yeah.
Like no one is, Rolling Stones, aren't they about to go on tour?
Yeah, they just had another album.
Like 80 years old. And nobody has ever had anything to say about it or like, oh, they should hang it up or whatever. So there's definitely still a double standard. And if you are going to get old, you better not ever look it.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's the standard for women. But Mick can embrace all of his wrinkles and his face falling off and all of those things.
Yeah, because he gets more character, right? Whereas us women, we just get old. It's funny too, because there's that whole, especially like celebrities, when people think that they have a lot of extra money to spend or get sponsored by, whatever. Why is she not taking care of herself? She can afford it. Why isn't she getting plastic surgery or Botox or whatever? And then the minute that same person does decide to do something because they feel the pressures from Hollywood, or maybe they just decide they want to do it, then she's criticized. It's like,
Yeah, she's so shallow. She's trying to compete with her daughter. You can't win.
you can't win, which is, unfortunately, that is something that I feel like has not really changed either. In fact, sometimes I feel like it's gotten worse because of social media, because everybody has an opinion, right?
Yes.
And I feel like it's okay for people to have an opinion, just maybe not necessarily share it. keep your opinion to yourself. There was, gosh, I can't remember who originated this quote. I don't know if it was like Nancy Reagan or Jackie O, but somebody had said, "Your opinion of me is none of my business."
Yeah.
And it's so true. Your opinion of me is none of my business. One of the things that you've told artists is, don't let someone else's beauty become your insecurity. This is honestly something that's very true, but how do we as women in midlife apply that exact same rule to ourselves?
I think you have to have the attitude of your podcast. Fuck you. If you've grown up for decades in this system where that's what they value, how do you fight against it? Where there's just so much comparison. And even like someone will do a performance and then it's like, well, she didn't have much energy this time. Look at what she did 20 years ago. She's 20 years older. And there's no grace for aging gracefully or just looking different or not what you expected that you had seen from before. You kind of have to validate yourself and celebrate your strengths and have people around who don't make you feel that way. It's a hard thing because if you have a people-pleasing type of personality, you want everybody to like you. You want to fit in to what's already seen as acceptable. I don't know how you change that personality if that's how you've been your whole life. But even as someone like myself I'm a type A, I'm a Leo, I'm a strong Black woman,
Yeah.
I will still be like, oh, what's happening under here? Because I'm in this youth-driven industry. I am hanging out with people decades younger than me. And so you're seeing that all of the time. And you can't help but see the changes that are happening. And so, you do some self-talk and self-talk and affirmations and having gratitude for finding the things about yourself that you love. There's no one quick fix or easy answer for things. It's a daily thing. So some days you might wake up and be like, damn, you're looking cute today. And other days it's like, who is
You're
that?
like, damn, I look awful.
Mirror. Who is that?
Yeah.
I don't know that person. So yeah, I think,
Yeah,
it's part
so
of, it's
true.
a journey. It's a journey that you go through. I don't know anyone who will say, I never feel down about myself. I never have insecurities. Right. And then the other thing is when you see another person, you can admire how they look. Oh, she's really beautiful and her skin is great. And then if you think your skin is not great, see a dermatologist and see how, you can be the best you that you can be without thinking you have to be the same as anyone else, right? Celebrate your individuality and find the things about you that are uniquely you.
Yeah.
Like maybe she's got great skin, but she can't play guitar. Look how great I can play
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah. Maybe she has great skin and her hair looks awful.
Yeah, maybe she's a bad person.
Oh my God. That's so
Maybe
true.
it's AI or Photoshop
Yeah.
or filter or
You know
whatever.
what's so funny though, when you say like maybe they're a bad person? I didn't know that was a joke, but I've worked on people where aesthetically they're beautiful, uh, in my hair and makeup job.
Mhm.
And I'll spend maybe an hour with them as I'm doing their hair and makeup. And by the end of it doesn't happen often. It's only happened a few times in my 35-year career, but, um, there has been times where by the time I'm done their makeup, I'm like, this person is so ugly. And I just mean like their personality because of things that they're
Yeah.
saying. And you're just kind of like, oh my God, get me away from this person
Yes.
faster.
I've had that experience often.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's people that they put out a persona that they are a certain way, except they're only that way when the cameras are on.
Yes.
So when you get them in a situation like when you're doing their makeup, the mask is off.
Yes.
And then you see who they really are. And it's often not pretty at all.
No. And the amount of times that people can be not the kindest person, but as soon as someone is around that is paying them to be there, then they're like nice as pie. And it's
Or
like,
someone that they respect,
yes.
or someone that can help them in some way in their career. You know,
Yeah.
that they'll have a hierarchy of how they will treat people.
Yeah.
And I will treat the janitor who's got a mop in hand the same way. I will give him the same greeting. There are people who
Yes.
will not greet people that they think are less than them in social status,
Yeah.
and will totally come alive if it's someone who can get them tickets to a concert or somebody who runs a label or a network or something.
Yeah.
And it's really disingenuous.
Yes.
And I go out of my way to not be that person
Yeah.
and not to dismiss people
Same.
For reasons that are just superficial, that have nothing to do with who they are or the content of their character, but just on how I position them on the life ladder.
You've described Honey Jam as a forever sisterhood.
Yeah.
One of the biggest, loudest themes that keeps echoing from the guests and listeners of the Fuck You 50s mirrors that forever sisterhood mentality. When we hit midlife, institutions love to try and convince us that we lost our edge or that we should be quiet and shrink into the background. How do we push through the weeds and encourage a genuine female community as we get older when society seems hell-bent on pushing the ageism and negative competition narrative all in one breath?
You know, comparison. I say comparison is the thief of joy, and just not allowing it to happen to yourself, realizing we all have agency. We all have power. We do not need to comply. Don't drink from the mainstream. Rage against the machine.
Yeah.
And find some other powerful, badass bitches. Follow those types of people on social media so that what's coming into your feed are messages of affirmation, because that's absolutely what happens. But I believe things happen that you allow to happen. And so, like, you can fall into the quicksand easily. There are many people that suffer from depression, and it can make you porous in terms of having these things enter into
Yeah.
your energy.
It's that whole misery
And
loves company, right? Like if you
yeah,
put that out there, that's what you're going to get in. You're right.
but find the things and exercise and work out, not because you want to be stick thin, but just all of the benefits that that gives you. And walk in the sunshine and find things that you love to do, and don't wait for someone to have to do them with you. Find your bliss,
Mm-hmm.
and that will elevate you.
Yeah.
But it helps to have people around you that are celebrating who you are currently and not wanting you to be someone you're not or someone that you were before, that you've evolved into someone else.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
I
it's
love that.
not easy. And you have good days and bad days, but um, it's like either I'm going to be here or I'm not going to be here. If I'm going to be here, let's fucking go.
Oh my God, I love that. I mean, that's so great. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You said, and this is also, unfortunately seeming to be coming up from what's south of us, but you said diversity, equity, and inclusion is going out of style. And how do we keep it from being just a trend and just being part of the community, full stop, which should have been from the very beginning of the planet?
There are things that are beyond our control, though I know that in the States, there was a company that bent the knee to Trump and got rid of all their DEI programs when Black consumers were like 90% of their bottom line. And so the Black consumers were like, yeah, we're not shopping there. And then the CEO got fired and a new person came in. So
Yeah.
sometimes you can affect change, but you can also find community and find ways that people who are deserving, people who are marginalized, are still included. Because there's always a way. Like I don't think anyone should ever give up and be like, oh, well, that's the way it is. Oh, well, we have to deal with it. So blah, blah, blah. And sometimes you have to shift. It is a struggle, especially if you're a nonprofit. And in times of economic uncertainty, a lot of marketing budgets shrink. A lot of places that during, the racial unrest of 2020 had put in all of these DEI departments, all of those staff have been let go. The departments no longer exist. It's no longer a priority. And so you just have to find a way to still achieve what you want to achieve. Maybe you have less money to do it. Maybe you find other ways to get money. I don't know. I know that we're still going because I did Honey Jam when there was no money, when I was a legal assistant and paying for it with my own salary. And so I know what's possible to be done because the concept of it is easy and people want to help. I mean, in the early days, we had no money to pay instructors. It's like, hey, here's a Rice Krispie square that Ebony made and a smile.
There's sprinkles on
And
the top.
yes, and they would willingly and happily
Yeah.
participate because none of them had anything like that when they were coming up in the industry. And
Yeah.
they see the value of it and they love being able to share what they have learned. They love being able to lift as they rise. And it's a huge ego boost to have these young, eager, emerging artists hanging on your every word.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, the energy about it, the spirit about it. It's all positive. Either you want something or you don't want it. I tell the artists there's a difference between, wouldn't it be nice if, and having that fire in your belly, true desire and passion. And if you have the latter, you will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
And if you just shrink into the background, then maybe you weren't built for this.
Yeah.
Right. You have to be built for this world and for the challenges that we all are going to face. The community is very, very, very key.
Yeah.
We have to find each other, support each other, uplift, amplify the positive things. I really, really believe that.
Yeah. I agree.
Have you heard of an acne drug called Accutane?
Yes.
It's a very powerful drug. So when you take it, all of the impurities, all of the stuff comes to the surface. And you look, for the most part, much worse than when you started taking it.
Yeah.
But it's a means to an end. It's bringing everything to the surface, and then you will eventually have beautiful skin. And the way that I am getting through the nightmare of what is happening in this world is believing that the universe is unfolding as it should, and that it is like Accutane, and that all of these things that we are seeing, the way that people are showing who they are, right? The corruption, the ways that they can be bought, the hypocrisy, just showing us the reality of what was always there, but amplified because now people feel comfortable because it's the way of the world now. So
Yeah.
now I can come out with my racism and misogyny and all of the things that I really feel. And that there's going to be a reckoning. I have to believe that. There has
Yeah.
got to be a reckoning. And I believe it will happen within a year. And we will start to reclaim some sort of decency, some sort of normalcy, whatever that is, but something better than what we have.
I believe you're right. Absolutely.
I'm counting on it.
Yeah.
Counting on it. It better happen.
One quote that you had said in an interview, which I love, and I don't know if you've said it more than once, but you said, I believe my place is anywhere I decide I want to be.
Yes, I've got an all access pass, right?
Yeah.
Nobody is telling me you don't belong here. And I am proud and unapologetic that I will create opportunities. So I'll see an event and I will call the event organizer and be like, I didn't get an invitation for this and I'd really love to come. This is my address and could you send it here? Thanks so much.
I love that.
You just don't give people an opportunity to reject you.
Yeah.
And dress for the job you want, not the job you have. And that's how I kind of go through life. Like, of course I'm going to get this. Of course this is going to be happening, and creating opportunities for the artists and calling companies and who I don't see any diversity at all in any of the things they've ever done. It's like, oh, well, have you ever considered this? And these are some of the artists that we have that are super talented. And it's a way that you put yourself forward and the way that you put ideas forward. If you're going to be like, can I take a step forward? Would it be okay with you? Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. As opposed to, I'm going to be coming there at 6:00. So please expect me and I'll have 2 people with me. Thanks so much. Ciao.
Hi. Wow, that's so good. I have to say, like in my industry, I've had opportunities that should have come my way that haven't. As a hair and makeup artist over the years, there's always been companies that have had events where they're launching a product or something. And usually we get invited to those, but slowly it's become more influencer supported versus professional supported, which has actually driven me crazy, and I'm very vocal about it. But I have to say, I like your approach because I honestly would either call people or I would email and just say like, this is my fucking resume and I should have been on that invite. But I like your approach of like, hi, I didn't get that invite. Here's my address and I'll be expecting it.
Yeah. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. And they're usually quite surprised at such a forward approach, but too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about how you're feeling about how I am coming across.
Yeah.
I want results. Like I said, there are a lot of people that have a mask and they pretend to be a certain person that cares about different things. So there'll be women that'll be like, yes, women empowerment. I love supporting women, blah, 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 blah. And yet 2 years of me contacting them and no response. And then I will get angry, but in a nice way. And I'll throw their words back. I was just reading this great article where you talked about this, and this. Well, this is what I'm doing. I haven't been able to reach you, but I'd love to have this opportunity. When can we meet?
It's like catching more bees with honey jam.
Yeah. I am very proud of all the things I've been able to achieve.
Yeah.
You're not going to deny me something that I feel I'm qualified for. And
Yes.
I will go over your head, which really pisses people off.
Yeah.
So you might tell me no, and then I'll be like, okay. And then I'm contacting your boss. And then your boss is like, of course. I can't believe Andrea didn't have you on the list.
Yeah.
Andrea.
Ebonnie, you're always going to be on my list. Absolutely. What is one thing that you're completely done tolerating in the current chapter of your life? And I feel like there's been a lot that you've said already, but
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I've kind of always been that way, but there was a part of me that was a people pleaser, maybe in the 80s. But I've been over that for a very long time. I have no problem calling people out on their BS, and they're not used to accountability, but I'm ready to demand it. And from all areas of life, like if I'm going to a restaurant, you're not doing me a favor. I'm paying money. I asked for this. This is what I got. This isn't what I want.
Yeah.
Either give me what I want or take it off the bill. And that's what's going to happen. Is that a problem? Let me see the manager, please.
Yeah.
I'm just not here for accommodating other people's deficiencies or their BS or their lies or whatever it is. I'm so clear on who I am, what I want, what I don't want, what I refuse to tolerate in all areas of my life. I have no apologies for it, and nobody should.
Yeah. I feel like we come from a generation where we had that kind of, like, we knew that we should not take the bullshit, but maybe it was the youth, maybe it was also the time where we weren't given that voice.
The voice or the choice, right? So if there's nobody who looks like you've not seen it modeled to you, you're being told as a woman, and especially as a woman of color, that you need to work 5 times harder to get the same thing. I've seen that happen. And I've, like, in now times, and I've asked for the same thing and been told, oh no, you need this, this, and this. And I'd be like, oh no, because I see that Janet over there has less experience than me, is making more than me, has received this opportunity. This is my resume. I'm more qualified. Give me what I'm due.
Yeah.
And I have done it. And then I've had people say, oh, okay, let me take another look at that.
Yeah.
And like I said, people are also afraid of social media. They are so fearful that people are going to go there and expose them and expose injustices.
Which is so, I'm so glad that there's that power available in social media, but it's also like people shouldn't be doing things out of like fear of being caught and called out. They should be just doing things because it's the right fucking thing to do in the first place.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it's just crazy. I'll see these people being filmed. They know that they're being filmed doing the thing, and they'll be like, post it. I don't care. I don't care. And then the internet finds out where they work, and people start harassing their job, and then they get fired. And then they put out this apology. That wasn't me. I'm not really like that.
Yeah. It's like, you are like that.
Exactly. I don't know. The world has gone mad, but I have become scorched earth. Don't fuck with me. There will be consequences. I will get what I want or die trying.
All right, Ebonnie, I feel like I've taken up so much of your time.
It's been lovely. I love doing interviews where it's not just, I don't know if you were a kid and your mom ever made you speak to Aunt Mabel, and then it would be the same question. Oh, hi, sweetie. How's school? How's this? And that's what it is every time you speak to her. Yeah. So imagine 30 years of that.
Yeah.
Right? No depth, just the same thing. I can tell, like, they just want to check something off of a list. They've not put any thought or research into anything. So I really enjoy doing these types of interviews for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, we're not doing Dear Miss Mabel here.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fuck You 50s. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to follow and rate the podcast. And we would love to connect with you on Instagram. So be sure to follow us at the Fuck You 50s. The Fuck You 50s is hosted by Andrea Claire. See you next time.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.